short at doing one thing, and we're trying to do multiple things because it keeps us excited. All right. But I can tell you right now, from all the things that I've learned, is when you're trying to catch 2 rabbits at the same time, you end up catching none. When you're trying to build 2 businesses at the same time, dude, both of them is mediocre. So when I hear all these entrepreneurs who said, I have 5 business, or I have 7 business, I can tell you, or 8 business, or 10 business, I can tell you right now, from my own personal experience, and from many other people that I've heard from that have built multi-million-dollar business, it really comes down to it's only 1 to 2 business that actually makes them the most amount of money. The rest is just for them to show off, for them to say, oh, I have 10 business. But actually only 1 or 2 of them makes them all the money that they currently have. Okay? Because you need to understand, and then all the other one probably lose money. Some of them will lose money. Just like when you own rental property. Same thing. I own 14 rentals. And I can tell you right now, not every single month that these rental makes me money. There's a rental I have right now that will cost me my whole entire year of that rental income. I make $5,000 from that rental a month. Okay? But I've already spent $30,000 to rehab that property. The other 13, 14 is still going well. You see what I'm saying? When you own a lot of real estate, it's the same thing. All it takes is 1 or 2 cancer property. It will suck up all of your passive, your liquid. Okay? If you own 10 rentals, if one of them goes bad, man, if one of them are giving you a headache, like a renter's in there, you got to go through eviction and all of that, dude, that thing will just, it's a blood sucker. Like, it'll suck all the blood out of you. So that's why I had a mentor. My mentor has almost 1,000 rental units. And he said, Colin, those are cancer. So when those comes up, you must cut the string as quick as you can. Which means you just now at the point where you just need to take a loss. Cut it off, take a loss, and call it, and move on to the next one. And that's why there's such thing as tire landlord. There is experienced investor who are caught up in that situation, and they're now become a tire landlord, and that's how we're able to find them, get the deal under contract, and then wholesale it and make a profit. Okay, even with experienced investor. Okay, so not necessarily just new people. That's very important. You guys need to understand. And the whole thing about passive income, I need you to understand this. Passive income is a 10 to 20 year game plan. So if you want to wait for 10 to 20 years to get rich, to retire from your JO to B, then go that route. But for me, I don't want to wait that long. That's why I choose wholesaling all day, every day. Wholesaling is the quickest and the safest way to make your money in real estate. Like, I have a student who just closed a deal, made $30,000 in like 18 days. You cannot do that with fix and flip. Fix and flip, you got to buy the property, you got to renovate it, you got to deal with the city, the permit, then you got to list the property, then you probably have to wait 4 to 6 months to get paid, right? So with the fix and flip, it takes a lot of risk, okay? And there's a lot of moving piece. With wholesale, you're in, you're out, boom, you're done. And that's why I love wholesaling, okay? So focus on your active income by wholesale. And once you get to the point where your wholesaling business can make you at least $25,000 a month, then what you do is you want to wholesale 4 houses and then keep 1. Now you're getting rich and you're building wealth at the same time. That is how you do it, my friend. Okay? So now you're getting rich and you're building generation wealth at the same time. Wholesale 4 houses, keep 1. 4 houses, keep 1. That's how you want to do it. Okay, my friend? So that way, when your rental ever come an issue where it does need a $10,000 in repair, a $15,000 or $20,000 in repair, you have the money to do so. You have the money to fund it, because your money will come from your wholesaling. That's what I did. Okay. What other question here? Okay. Okay. What other question you guys got? So the whole thing about, the whole thing people get wrong is that when they get into real estate, they always think about two things: fix and flip, and then buy and hold. But I tell you right now, I've done both. And those are the two. Fix and flip is the worst business to get into, the most stressful, and the most riskiest. One bad deal, one bad deal can put you out of business. One bad deal, one bad fix and flip can wipe you out of business. That's how scary it is. Okay? So wholesaling, worst case, you lose your earnest money deposit. So for me, every single house that I put on the contract, I only put up $250 earnest money deposit. So if I wake up tomorrow, the market tanked by 30%, I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. I just call the seller back. I renegotiate. If the renegotiating doesn't work, I cancel the contract. Worst case, I lose my $250. I walk away. That's it. $250, nothing. I'm willing to risk $250 every day, any day, to make $25,000 in return. Who here is willing to do that? Who here is willing to take that risk? Once again, no risk, no reward. But this to me is a very, very small risk with a high possible return. Because the average wholesale fee is about $20,000 to $25,000. So for me, $250 to put a property in a contract, worst case doesn't work out, I lose my earnest money deposit, but potentially I can make $25K. Okay? Now, YouTube family, for those of you who are new into the game, who either never closed a deal before, or maybe you closed a deal before, but you're having a tough time closing your next deal or one deal a month, click the link in my descriptions. I'll put the link in my description. Join my 3-day challenge. It's completely free. Day one, I'll show you how to find these distressed property with the software that we use that allow you to go into any city, any states, which means you're able to work from home. All you need is a laptop, a phone, and internet connection. You can go into any city, any state. I'll show you what list to pull. Then, day two, I'm going to show you exactly how you get on the phone. How do you talk and negotiate with the seller so you can get that property in a contract at a steep discount. And then day three, I'll show you how to find the buyer, sell your contract. Boom, done. Get in, get out, make your money. The goal is to show you how to start closing one deal a month, $25,000 a pop. Okay? So if that's something you're interested in, get on the free training. I'll leave the link in the description. Okay? What happened to $100 deposit? So Oscar, when you talk about the EMD, so the earnest money deposit, I mean, I have students that don't put up $250 because they only got $10. If you got $10, and my students put a $10 earnest money deposit, he just closed his first deal for $11,000. So you don't even need to put up $250 if you don't have the money. $10 is good enough. $10 is good enough. Okay? And if you tell me you don't even have $10 to risk, then I'm telling you right now that entrepreneurship is not for you. Building a business is not for you. You're better off just to stick with the J-O, the B. Because obviously, you can't even come up with $10, and you're not even willing to risk $10. So, you're probably not an entrepreneur. You what I call the wannabe-preneur. Okay? The wannabe-preneur, not an entrepreneur. Okay? Every entrepreneur I know, they're willing to take risk. They just take calculated risk. They look at the risk and they look at the reward. And they'd be like, dude, all day, every day, let's rock and roll. And the key thing with being an entrepreneur is that most of them are very street smart. That's the one thing I know with entrepreneur as well, that they are very, very street smart. At least the successful one anyway. Like they're not so much book smart, but they're more like street smart. Like they're quick on their feet. They are adaptable. They are a salesman. Like they're good. Okay? Like they're good. Okay? So if you are a street smart Comment in the chat and let me know if you're street smart, okay? Legendary Ryan said, I own a junk removal company in New Jersey. If you have any property, I would love to do business with. So Legendary Ryan, dude, first off, congrats on your business. I hope it's successful. Also, too, is I don't know if you are creating content around that business. If you haven't created content around that business, Ryan, you should. I think now I'm going to take this to like the next step here. I think most small business owner, the biggest thing that's holding them back to 10x their money, 10x their business, is that they're not on social media. They're not putting content out there about their business because they are too scared of whatever it is. Oh, I don't know how to do content. I don't know this. I'm not good at this. Dude, figure it out. When you wanted to ride a bike, you didn't know. You had to figure it out. Like no one grew up knowing how to drive a car, but we figured it out. Same thing. So if you want to make more money, if you want to grow your business, imagine if the whole city, the whole entire New Jersey, the whole entire state know what you do. How much more business do you think that you will get? A lot more. The problem with most business, even me, and that's why you see people like me, we are creating content. The reason why is because we want attention. We want exposure. The more people know you, the more money you're going to make, the more business you're going to do. Because nobody can do business with someone that they don't know. And then two is they don't like. So for people to know you, you got to put yourself out there. For people to like you, you got to build trust. That is the biggest thing, is you got to build trust. Without trust, nobody's going to do business with you, my friend. Without trust, ain't nothing lasts. Okay? So social media is like it's a very big thing, and it's free. It's free to post. And people would spend a bunch of money paying for advertisement, but they're not willing to pick up their phone and post. Because once again, they're afraid, they're scared, people judging them, or whatever that may be. But I can tell you right now, my business blew up because I was on social media. I was able to do more deals. I was able to start different stream of income because of social media. I was able to get a lot of students in my coaching because of social media. But social media is, you guys, we already know it, okay? If they don't know you, they can't do business with you. If they don't trust you, dude, they ain't gonna do business with you. So that's why I think building a personal brand is obviously very, very important. And a personal brand without a face, I think without a face, it's really hard for someone to trust you, okay? I mean, you can make money other way, but if you want to do like person to person, I got to see your face, dude. I got to know who you are, bro. Hi, Mr. Kong. Is the real estate market slowing, price dropping? So Jonathan, the beauty thing about wholesaling is we don't care what market condition we're in. It doesn't matter if the market is up. It doesn't matter if the market's down. It doesn't matter if the market plateau, zigzag. It doesn't matter. That's why I love wholesaling. Because all we're doing is that we're just the middleman. We're finding a deal. We're finding a property. We put it under contract at a discount. Then we find somebody who's willing to pay us more. And we just sell the contract over to them. So I don't care what market you're in. It's always buy low or, buy low, sell high. Everybody is buy low, sell high. I don't care if you're in stocks. I don't care if you're in crypto. It doesn't matter. But the model of buy low, sell high will always be around. So for wholesaling, all we do is we find something under contract at a discount, find someone who's willing to pay us more, sell the contract. Get in, get out. Okay? That's what I like. Okay? Get in and get out, baby. And I also want to, now listen, I'm not a crypto expert. I'm not a stocks expert. I'm not a stock or crypto guy. But I don't know if you guys remember the whole thing where people were going around trashing Tesla. I don't own a Tesla, okay? So I don't own a Tesla, and I don't like electric car because I think as a car guy, you can't say that you're a car guy by owning an electric car. Dude, I wanted to make noise. The louder the noise, man, the better it is. Okay, so, but people are going around, trashing other people's Tesla because they want to crash Tesla stocks. They want to crash Elon Musk. Like, you guys don't think that there will be someone out there that's waiting for the dip to buy in? Come on, man. Shit, bro. Listen, nobody will say no to Moni. At least nobody I've met. Everybody has a price. There are people who sitting on the sideline who are like, oh yeah, dude, who are loving all these people they're just waiting for the dip to buy. And guess where Tesla is now? Back up again. That's right. Dude, there will be people who's waiting for the opportunity to come in, and then boom, goes up. There's going to be people sell. Buy low, sell high. It's just how it is. And people know Tesla is going to be around, man. So there's a lot of trust already been built in there. So you think that they'll let it go to zero? Come on, man. Bro. See, those are average people. They don't understand the thinking of the rich people. The rich people think different, man. They only see opportunity. They don't see colors. They don't see racist. They don't see sexist. They don't see any of that. You know what they see? Opportunity. I can tell you right now, dude, I've sat down with a black, African-American, white, East Indian, like millionaires. We sit down at a table. We eat dinner together. No one said, oh, you're brown, I don't want to do business with you. Oh, you're white, I don't want to do business with you. Or you're black, I don't want to do business with you. Or you're yellow, you're pink, you're red, you're gay, you're lesbian. It doesn't matter. Like, they don't care. All they care about is how can we do business together? What are the opportunity here? Is there synergy here that we can make money together? Can we make a win-win for everybody? Yes? Let's go. Let's go. All right? They'll be like, black and white, dude, make caramel. Black, white, boom, together, bam, caramel. Let's go, baby. Caramel chocolate. Boom, let's launch it. You see, rich people, all they care is about opportunity. That's how they got rich, because they focus on what matters. So once again, if you want to get rich, you got to think like the rich. You got to get rid of the old you, man. Okay? Dude, you got to get rid of the old you and become the new version of you, man. The new version of you is you need to act and think like the rich if you want to get rich. Period. The end. Okay? And once again, most people said Moni is evil. I don't believe it. I don't think Moni is evil. Dude, I think the people with the Moni is evil. So it's not the Moni. The Moni can't do anything, but it's the people who actually has the Moni. You can either do good or you can do evil with it. Just like gun. Gun don't kill people. People kill people. That's what I believe. So for me, dude, the more Moni you make, the merrier it is. If you're a good person, when you make a lot of Moni, guess what you're going to do, dude? You're going to do a lot of good stuff. You're going to change a lot of people's life. But if you're bad, you're just going to do more bad things. And I do believe in karma. That's what I do believe, though. That's the number one thing I do believe in karma. If you make your Moni the wrong way, it will never stay with you. It will never stay with you. If you scam people, if you cheat people out of their hard-earned working Moni, that Moni that you made, it might seem like, oh, man, dude, I just made $1 million in one day. But bam, dude, it'll be gone. It will find the way to leave you. Because I believe in God. I believe in karma. He sees it all, man. You can never escape karma. It will come back around. It will bite you in the butt 10 times more. You took $1 million from someone hard-earned working, that they, with blood, sweat, and tears, that they have saved up that Moni. Dude, you know that, bro, it's not going to end well for you. So that's what I believe. You see, the legit way of making Moni is always the hardest. Like, you're trying to do it ethically. You're trying to do it morally, right? You're trying to make sure, like, if you do it the right way, it's always the hardest way to make. It's going to take a lot longer, but then that Moni actually stay with you. It actually stay with you. And it will bring more good stuff to you. you have a happier life, a happier marriage, just happier in general. Because you can go to sleep in peace, knowing that you make your money the right way. Okay? What do you think of some states are better than others for wholesaling? Oscar, man, I don't think that they're like, yes, there are states that are better, but instead of going around and trying to find them, what I think that you should do is you should focus on your own market. Focus on your own backyard, man. All the diamonds are in your backyard. But a lot of people, they're focused on going in to somebody else's yard and trying to dig for gold. But when gold is actually in your backyard the whole entire time. Oscar, let me ask you this question, Oscar. If you can make $25,000 a month in your own backyard, would you be happy with that? Comment, let me know. Will you be happy with that? And that, Oscar, is only one deal, man. All you need is one deal a month. It's plenty. For a lot of you, $25,000 a month net, that's $300,000 a year, will give you a pretty dang good life. I don't care what city, what state you live in. $25,000 net a month, and you got to learn how to live below your means. Dude, it gives you a pretty good life, my friend. You can travel probably 4, 5, 6 times a year. Okay? You're not going to have, you obviously you're not going to be able to drive around, a supercar. Maybe over 5 to 10 years, you save up and then you can. But dude, it gives you a pretty good life. So I believe that I don't care what city, what state you're in, you can close one wholesale deal in your own backyard. You don't need to go chase in another city or another state, because you know your city, your states, your backyard better than any other one. So why chase? Focus on your. It's coming down to is how do you find them? How do you negotiate with these homeowners? And Oscar, that's what I'm going to teach you in the 3-day challenge. Check the link in my bio, Oscar. YouTube family, link is in my description. I'm going to show you how to do it. And I know a lot of people look at wholesaling like, oh, Kong, it is unethical. You're stealing someone's equity. Wrong. So a deal that we closed out in Anacortes. This lady she got 30 days. I think she got less than 30 days to sell her house. If she don't, she'll lose her house. She didn't have there was no room for her to pay for commission and all that. And she needed a fast closing. She didn't want to fix up her property. She didn't have the capital. She was stressing out. And guess what happened? We came in there and got the deal done. She was able to walk away with over $100,000. If we didn't come in and did what we do, she would have lost the house to the bank and walk away with nothing. She would have destroyed her credit, and that would have ruined her life. But instead, we came in, we made the deal, we made it happen. It's a win-win for everybody. The only person that didn't win in this situation was the bank. I don't know about you, man, but I don't want the bank to win. They already win. All right? I don't want to see the bank win. But we came in, we came in, we got her house, got her to walk away with over $100,000 in her pocket, closed that thing very quickly, took over all the repairs. We even helped her clean, helped her move, everything. And she was like, dude, she sent me a text message. She said, Kong, you guys are awesome. So once again, it's just like, it's all about perspective. It's like how people see things. Those who look at wholesaling as bad probably will never get rich. Because everything is a business. Amazon, drop shipping, same thing. You buy low, you sell high. A realtor, same thing. See, so you got to treat it like a business. You cannot get emotionally attached to it. So I put a video out about that property of how much we made on it. A realtor commented and said, oh man, this guy coming in and stealing somebody's equity. And she'd be like, well, as a realtor, we would never do that. We're always, trying to get them the highest price. Well, if what she said was true, as a realtor, she would have not tried to list her house to get commission. She would have told that seller, hey, you could have do this. You could have listed for sale by owner. You could have do this. She could have shared all her strategy with her. But instead, what what does Realtor do? Their goal is same thing. They got to be able to sell their service to that person so they can list it, so they can make a commission on it. Nobody's is going to work for free. But the goal is how can we make it a win-win for everybody, though? That's the key. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, like in every business, it's the same thing. When you go to Costco, Target, same thing. They get it in low, they sell to you for high, man. That's how they stay in business. If you don't want to stay in business, the business got to make profit. You got overhead that you need to pay. So the reason I'm pointing this out is for those of you who mix business with personal emotion, you're not going to be able to build a successful business. You're just not. And that's just how it is in business, my friend. Buy low, sell high. Okay? And business to stay in business, you got to be profitable. That's all it is. No profit, you're out of business, my friend. Okay? Same thing if you work for somebody. If you work for somebody, it's the same thing. They undercut you, right? They pay you $10 an hour when you make that item for them that they're going to make $100 on it. Same thing. It doesn't matter where you go in this world, my friend. You either learn how to play the game or be played by the game. But don't hate the player. Hate the game. You just need to get better at playing the game. For example, you go to McDonald's, boom, they pay you $10 an hour to flip a burger, and they sold them. And within that 1 hour that you made $10, they probably sold it to 100 people and made 100 times more. They use your labor, they pay you cheap, and then they make 100 times off of you. And that's how people stay in business, my friend. Okay? And also, I want you to all understand as well. It's not how hard you work; it's what you do for work that will make you rich. So don't think that you got to work harder. Don't think that you got to work harder. Don't think that you got to work 2 to 3 jobs to get ahead in life. You don't. You need to find one job to pay your bills, and then you need to find one source of income, one side hustle, one business that you want to get in that you can work part-time. And eventually, hopefully, that side hustle can make you rich. Okay? So it's not about how hard you work. It's what you do for work. Because I used to work 8 hours a day, just like some of you, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay? 40 hours a week, 80 hours every 2 weeks. And I make $30,000 a year. And now I close one wholesale deal and make $30,000 in one check. 15 days. So, it's not how hard you work, okay? But it's what you do for work. So, you guys need to understand that. Okay? So, stop thinking about working harder, but how can I work smarter? How can I leverage my current JOB income to start a second stream of income and then build from that and get rich from that? And I also need you to understand that saving is not going to get you rich, but it starts from saving. You got to save, and then you got to reinvest that money smartly. Now, here's something that people get all wrong, and I need to address this. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs out there are getting this wrong because it's not sexy to talk like this. But I'm going to share with you what I believe is true, and I think you need to understand. So let's just say that you start a business and you make $20,000 from that business. And people said, oh, reinvest. Yes, you do have to reinvest. But I suggest that you should not reinvest every single dollar back into the business. I believe you need to take at least 10 to 20% off the table and put that aside as a reserve. You see, everybody, because you hear everybody, I've heard this so many times, but I can tell you right now, dude, it is not true. Because in business, you need to understand this, there will be rainy days. Business is not always good. It can never always be good. Everything has a season. So when you have reserve, you can weather through the storm. Most businesses go out of business is because they cannot withstand the storm, because they don't have enough reserve. So when you have enough reserve to withstand the storm, then you can go back up again. So don't take every dollar and reinvest back in, my friend. You got to push at least 10 to 20% aside to keep it as reserve. So when the business does come to the point where it does need, you got something. I can tell you right now, in my business, the last couple months, not just my business, but a lot of my buddy friend, it's been rough, man. It's been rough. Because with all the tariff, all the things that's going on in the world, dude, it's a lot of people are tight up their money, and not a whole lot of people outspending, and inflation and things dude, it has been tough. Same thing. And that we're able to continue to pay for our employee, to pay for the system, pay for everything, is because we have reserve. Without reserve, I'm telling you right now, most business cannot, like when we come into an issue, most business will be wiped out because they don't have the reserve to pay for 3 months of expenses, 4 months of expenses. I think you need at least a 6 month in reserve. So if your overhead is $10,000, you need 6 months of that. So you need to have $60,000 set aside. Okay, to pay for your employee, your marketing costs, etc. So most people keep on saying cash is trash. Let me tell you something, my friend. When recession hits, when you're going through a tough time, cash, dude, will be more than king. So the people who said cash is trash, I'm telling you right now, dude, they needed the cash. Without the cash, dude, their business ain't going to be alive. Okay? But storing the cash and not doing anything with the cash is trash. So you got to have, so there's a couple buckets. You got to have reserve, which is money you don't touch only for desperation time. Okay? And then you got to have the investing bucket, which is, this is the bucket that allows you to take risk. And then obviously you got to have the expense bucket. This is the bucket where, hey, this is where your monthly expenses comes out of. And then you got the risk. The risk is when you be like, hey, I just found an opportunity. I want to take that money and I want to risk it. Okay, that's your risk bucket. And then obviously you got the reserve. That's the emergency fund that you don't touch. So those three buckets are very, very crucial to your success of being an entrepreneur or business owner, right? All right, YouTube family, I appreciate each and every single one of you that's watching. Now, for those of you who say, Kong, I've watched a bunch of YouTube from you, from other people. I've listened to a bunch of podcasts. Also, too, is, hey, how can I become a student? All you need to do is go to coachwithkong.com, book a call with my team, book a strategy call with my team. And they'll get on the phone. They'll at least show you exactly what are some steps that you can take to go from where you are to where you want it to be, all right? I appreciate each and every single one of you that's watching. Until next time, take care. And let's go get this money.